Hello and welcome to the ID Talk podcast. My name is Peter Counter and I am the editor-in-chief of FindBiometrics, which is back from Las Vegas, where last week we reported live on ISC West, the world's premier security conference. FindBiometrics Director of Digital Media and Events Doug OGorden was roaming the show floor last week, navigating the massive crowds and interviewing the leaders in biometrics and identity. And on this special episode of ID Talk, we feature his conversation with Evan Nardone, CTO of St. Moritz Security Services. St. Moritz is one of the biggest security companies in the world, and Nardone talks about what it takes to stay on the leading edge in the constantly evolving world of guarding spaces. It's a fascinating angle about how the identity industry intersects with the security services market, so let's get straight to the interview. Here is FindBiometrics' Doug OGorden in conversation with St. Moritz CTO Evan Nardone, recorded live at ISC West 2022.
Hi, FindBiometrics listeners, Doug OGorden. I'm live at ISC West 2020 with Evan Nardone.
Yes, sir.
Not Nardone.
Yes, Nardone.
Nardone. Evan Nardone, he's the CTO, Chief Technology Officer, for the largest independent security company on the planet?
I'll give us top
independent.
five.
Okay.
I'll give us top five.
All right, okay. Company's St. Moritz Security Services. They have locations everywhere.
Yeah, we're all over the U.S., 40 different branch offices from Boston to Miami to LA.
Yep, and I've gotten to know Evan, basically by making phone calls and asking you questions about technology, and now we're sitting here and we're going to talk about biometrics.
Yeah, of course.
So you don't have a booth here. You're the first person I'm interviewing that doesn't have a booth here.
Yeah.
You're walking the show floor looking at new stuff.
Exactly.
And you're on the guarding side, but on the technology side of making guards better. Right?
Yes, making guards better, but then also leveraging technology for remote guarding.
Okay.
And so that's a big part of why I'm here. So I want to make sure that all of our officers in the field have the best technology that's available to them. I want to make sure that our clients have all the tools necessary to provide a very robust security system or a robust security program. And I want to make sure that St. Moritz stays on that cutting edge. You know as well as anybody else, if you don't keep up on what's happening now in technology, then you're already behind. And so for me to come to ISC, it's a really great time for me to meet with my partners, stay up to date on what's happening now, and then meet with a few of our clients and making sure that they're finding everything that they need as we further build their security program.
A shameless plug for how great ISC West is. So you can't really do this online, and it's great to be back and sitting here with you.
Yeah.
Next question is, security is increasingly becoming digital. Thanks to technology, that allows businesses to automate more security procedures. Mm-hmm. What role will dedicated security personnel and companies, guard companies, what role will they play in the future, and why is it important to preserve the human element when protecting a facility?
Yeah. So when it comes to the way that technology is affecting the physical security world, what we have been doing at St. Moritz is focusing on integrated security solutions or integrated security programs. What that means is trying to find the best of both worlds, trying to find that balance. Anytime you try to eliminate all of one thing, you kind of cut off your nose to spite your face. Whereas there are aspects to all of these different tools that are very useful in creating a well-rounded security program. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we see that wages continue to increase, budgets continue to increase on the man guarding side, and not all of our customers are able to bear that burden. So what we have to do is find ways to manage that budget, find ways to get more efficient, and that's where the digital aspects of the security system come into place, whether it's access control, cameras, AI, remote guarding, which is one of the things that I specialize in, providing that physical security presence from a remote location. But then that program won't be able to get off the ground without the boots on the ground security officers on the site. A remote concierge is very effective in some instances, but it's completely useless in other instances. Mm-hmm. And so being able to be a trusted advisor for my clients so that we can say, this is what would work best in your facility. This is what, and try to pull different tools out of the toolbox, with manned guarding being a big piece of that. It's definitely St. Moritz's core business, and it will be going forward. And my goal is to support that in any way that I can with technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hold on to your hats. Technology's catching up.
Oh, very quickly. Yeah, and we're getting pushed there faster than most of the industry is probably ready for.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Which is a good segue into my last question. So you're walking the show floor. I don't know if you've been on there all day yesterday or today, and if you looked into your crystal ball from what you see out on that show floor, what do you think we have by the end of the year? What kind of changes do you think are? What's in your crystal ball for your 2022 predictions?
Yeah, I think that there are two main things that I see coming to the forefront. One is a data-driven approach to physical security, which hasn't been the case. By and large, physical security providers, physical security experts have ignored real-time data because they've never had real-time data before. This is the first time in the history of security that we're able to get that kind of real-time instant data backed with real-time instant analysis, and that we can actually start to make some of these data-driven decisions in security. And that's going to be one of the largest changes for sure. On the other side of things, I think that Web3 applications are going to be another huge jump in that physical security world. When you start talking about things like biometrics, credentialing, all of those kinds of things, when you tie biometrics and credentialing with blockchain and Web3 applications, now you have a safe, secure method of doing the act of access control without the risk of exposing biometric data to hacking and cyber threats. Mm-hmm. So you're adding another layer of protection over the actual data that is being collected with the biometrics, while providing the highest level of biometric access control to a facility or to a website or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And that was a loaded question, but it all came out, all identity and biometrics. So I guess you know who you're talking to today. So anyway, it was great to see you in Vegas. I hope to see you in Pittsburgh sometime.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Have a good show.
Thank you.
And so concludes our interview with Evan Nardone, CTO of St. Moritz. To learn more about the topics discussed in this episode, visit smssi.com. And for more identity and biometrics industry coverage straight from ISC West 2022, stay posted to FindBiometrics.com. I would like to thank Evan for joining us on the podcast, and thank you to Doug OGorden for conducting the interview. Our podcast theme music is by Logomrad. I have been your host, Peter Counter. Thank you for listening to the ID Talk podcast.